Hey folks, what is up? I know it's been forever since I made a video, but that's not quite true. It's been forever since I've uploaded a video. I have recorded I don't know how many vlogs at the very least, and yeah, don't mind my messy room. I've recorded I don't know how many vlogs at the very least, and I just never upload them. By the time I remember I have them and I should upload them, so much has changed that I can't it's no point in uploading, so I gotta record another one. So this one, what I'm gonna try to do is record it and at least directly upload it. I feel kind of strange just making an occasional vlog once every blue moon. I really got to try to get back into doing something more consistent if I want to do this, but I don't know how much I want to do this anymore because the way YouTube has become. I'm not going to go into depth about it. There's plenty of videos out there. I don't want to fight monetizations. I don't want to fight copyright. I don't want to put my channel at risk for getting deactivated or shut down stuff because somebody makes a bullshit claim against me and there's nothing I can do about it. I don't want to deal with that. YouTube is my main source of entertainment still. The streamers I watch, like I watch the two like big name streamers I watch are Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. But I watch a whole lot of other streamers, various games, various other stuff, and I just don't want to lose that and have to and then a lot of times now if you lose your YouTube account, you lose your entire Google account, and that can ruin somebody's life for that to happen. So I really don't want to end up like that, which is one of the reasons why I really have been hesitant to do any videos, even though I've kind of felt the bug to do them now. So there's that. I've thought about doing some other stuff. I got some stuff on mine. They're not going to be very popular with some of the people that are here, but, I do things for me, and that's the way I just look at it. But be that as it may. Now, the first thing you're wondering is, why is there a purple shirt hanging here? Well, as you can see a little bit of, I collect figurines and a few action figures and other stuff that I find really interesting or of characters that I like. And I collect them because I collect them now at, a lot of people do this, but I collect them now because I could never do something like this as a kid. And so I want to do it now, although I'm a little bit out of control and I'm trying to dial myself back some because I've got quite a few. One of my favorite characters to collect is my boy here. As if you don't know who he is, there's the anime My Hero Academia, and this is All Might. I love over-the-top characters and characters that lean to the bit of a ridiculous side, and All Might definitely fits that bill. And All Might is actually here. I'd pull my camera out and show you the pose I have him in, but you can sort of see him a little bit. But then I'd be negating the whole point of the shirt, which I'll get to in a second. But he's going face to face, head to head with the big Brolster here. I love Broly. I just love big powerhouse bad guys or unique bad guys. And even though Broly would have All Might severely outmatched, even the old Broly, who I actually like the old Broly more than I like the retcon Broly, the new Broly. Now, he's good too, but that's not something I want to go into right now. But I still think it'd be an interesting match if they could be of equal power to see Broly versus All Might. That's something I definitely would love. But I collect all kinds. Some of my favorites is I've got a few Vegetas. I got an SSJ4 Vegeta. I've got base Vegeta Battle Scarred. I've got an Android 18. I've got one Luffy, one Harley Quinn, who's my my favorite DC character. I've got several animals I'm collecting from a particular figures that are actually sold at my hardware store up here. I think they're Schaefer's. I've got a moose, elephant, couple bulls. I've got another Broly. I've got a Golden Frieza. He's actually half of what they call a tag team. He's supposed to be going head to head with a God Goku figurine, but I don't have that figurine. I just have the Frieza one. I've actually got a Dumbledore figurine, a Hagrid figurine. They're my two favorite characters from the Harry Potter world. I have Orisa, Roadhog, and Winston figurines, little ones here. Just because I actually, I used to play Overwatch a little bit, and I really do like those three characters. I got a few other things, but all that explanation of why this purple shirt is here is I collect all kinds of figurines, including figurines that are more of an adult nature, and I think you know what I mean. And it is almost impossible for me to hide what's here, including, I don't know if you can see, when I tap right here, this is the top of my centerpiece figurine for the adult ones, and down here, just below, you can see my hand right there, is the bottom. So, you can see right there, she's about 1.5 feet tall. And it is a she. So, yeah. I don't want YouTube to ban me over you being able to see those figurines, so I need to keep them hidden. So anyways, what's going on in my life? Well, a lot of stuff. First off, I am 324 pounds, I believe. I'm reading 326 right now, but that was 2 pounds gained overnight, so I'm almost 100% positive that's just water weight, that I'm holding a little bit of water weight. I am struggling. I am keeping my weight between around 322 and 326. February 11th, I go and see the surgeon who did my sleeve, going on 2 years ago now, and I'm going to see if the possibility of a revision on my sleeve is possible to help me lose weight further. I want to be under 300 pounds. I'd like to be down to around 250. So I've got at least another 75 pounds to go. To give you an idea of what's going on, I'm really not losing all that much weight. Even though I go to the gym now, I try to go at least 3 times a week. I like to go every other day, so I go 3 to 4 days a week. But I've been so busy with work lately, and I'm grateful for that. My school bus boss has been giving me all kinds of extra runs and extra rides to do, and I've been incredibly grateful for them. So I'm busting my ass there, so I haven't been able to get to the gym that much. And of course, when I'm out driving and doing charters, I'm not eating. I do go like McDonald's and Burger King, but I do kind of the keto thing. I don't eat the bun, I don't eat the onions, I don't have any ketchup, I just eat the patties, the pickles, the burgers. I don't even get cheese on them anymore, I just have that. I might get a little mayonnaise on top. I don't do a keto, but I try and eliminate the really bad stuff out of it, which is the bun and stuff. Well, the patty's not the greatest either, but it's better than just eating the whole thing. I don't get French fries anymore. If I go to Burger King, I don't get onion rings anymore. I don't get that kind of stuff. But even though I've gone from, in the past month and a half, maybe 2 months, I've gone from barely able to do 30 minutes on a recumbent bike, on a stationary bike, to doing 60 minutes on a elliptical machine, which is actually very difficult. But I can do a full 60 minutes on an elliptical machine now. The problem is I don't have a personal trainer, and I know exercise is supposed to be cardio and strength for the best results. But I've gone to just doing cardio. I'll even do 90 minutes, not all at once. I'll do 60 minutes, sit down for 15 or 20 minutes, and go back and do another 30. I'm just trying to push my body into hopefully helping to lose weight. But I yo-yo up and down so much, my weight loss is just so whatever, that I'm going to go see my doctor and see if a revision can be done, and maybe that'll help me drop more weight. I don't think I'll get it, but it's worth a shot. Let's see what else is going on. I've taken a bit of a leap of faith. My settlement has settled for the most part. We're waiting to hear from Tufts to see if they're owed any money and how much they're going to be given. Depending on what they get, I've already gotten $35,000 out of my settlement. I got a $5,000 advance and I got a $30,000 advance, and I'll go into why. So from there, we're looking at There's still $30,000 left in the trust account. Tough should only be owed about 20 at most. Maybe they'll negotiate down. Maybe they won't. I don't know. And that's if they're entitled to anything at all. So I could end up with between $10,000 and $30,000 still, but we got to hear back from Tufts first. The $5,000 got me something that you see right behind me there, that mattress. That is a brand new, for the first time in my life, I've ever owned a brand new mattress. That is a $1,000 mattress, $1,400 delivered. That white thing you see on it, I got to put a sheet over it. It's actually a protector. It's almost like a sheet, but it's a mattress protector to keep, if my dogs decide to pee on my bed for any reason, which my bruise still occasionally is marking things, that will protect my bed. If my mattress gets stained for any reason, then they will send a cleaning kit, or they will send a professional to clean it. If they cannot get it cleaned, then for at least once in the 10-year protection plan I have, they'll replace the mattress. So there's that. There is a lot. It's not that simple, but that is can be the end result if you do everything properly, which I'm making sure I do. I also used part of that $5,000 to get a new washing machine. I got a Samsung front loader, high efficiency washer with a pedestal. And you know you're an adult when one of the most exciting things to happen to you in today's world is you got a brand new washing machine finally. Like, when that washing machine showed up, I literally did 12 loads of laundry. I'd been holding off on doing laundry for about 2 weeks because I didn't want to do laundry in the old washer anymore. It was just, it used so much water, it didn't spin out properly, so things would have to go in the dryer much longer. There was just a lot of bad stuff to it. I just got sick and tired of it. So, yeah, I couldn't take it anymore. So I got a brand new washing machine. If I get the full $30,000, I'm gonna go get the matching dryer for it, because I want on a pedestal, so I don't have to keep bending down and reaching in. This way, if my mom, like, let's say I'm not here, my mom wants something or needs something washed, she can just put it in here, take it out, put it in there. She doesn't have to bend down. So there's that. I'm not gonna go into everything I want to do. If I get the full $30,000, and even if I get the full $30,000, I won't be able to do all this. But I'll give you some stuff. There's a few things in the house I want removed, so I got like a trash removal. Possibly buying a living room set for my mother, a nice big sectional or something, and maybe a sofa. Possibly upgrading to a new computer. And cleaning this computer out. It needs to be dusted, something big. Cleaning this computer out and putting and giving it to my girlfriend as her computer when she gets here. That's something else. Moving my girlfriend here, which I'll go into. There's going to be a lot to talk about in this one. Going to Florida, going to see my father, and actually going to Disney World for the first time. Probably the only time in my life, but it's something I definitely want to do. Get a VR headset, one way or the other. I'm doing that. I got to get new glasses. I'm considering getting a new refrigerator. Definitely want a new microwave, possibly even a dishwasher and stove for the house, which I have the landlord's permission to do. A partial fursuit is definitely an option as well. Those are all things I kind of want to do. A second-hand car or truck, even a truck with an older truck, it can be a little beat up as long as it's roadworthy, with a plow on it. Because even if the truck were to break down, well, I have another truck. Yes, that was the $30,000 advance. I got a $30,000 advance, put a total of $28,000 down on a 2019 Ram 1500 Laramine. That's the mid-model. I kind of have a little buyer's regret because for $30 more a month from what I'm paying now, I could have had a limited, and that had all the bells and whistles, had the adaptive cruise control, start-stop technology while sitting at a light, also could start-stop on cruise control, come all the way down to a stop and then restart itself. Had all that. There's a lot of stuff that the Laramine doesn't have, but Laramine has most of it. And with the Laramine, I have a 6-year, 85,000 mile extended warranty, which with the Limited I wouldn't have. So that's a good thing. And I don't have editing software, so I don't know how this is going to work. But let's see if we can do this. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there she is. There's my girl. She's got the sports front, which basically is the painted bumper and grille. We'll get you a side view of her. She's got a crew cab. So she's got the full Ford cab, leather interior with a 5x7 box. So she's got the short bed in the back. 5.7 liter V8 Hemi. Does not have the multi-displacement option that the Limited had, which means you get up on the highway and it'll shut half the engine off and cruise on 4 cylinders to really improve gas mileage. So yeah, I always knew this was going to be the one thing I was going to miss from my Camry when I traded it in, was the gas mileage. I think the best I could pull on the highway, if I really baby it, is about 26 miles per gallon. I know, and my Camry was getting an average of 27.6, 27.8, even at times 28. That was its average. You know, in the city, in the town, as long as I'm not stopping and going, if I'm driving in town, as long as there's not a lot of stop and go, I can actually get really good gas mileage. If there is stop and go, it is about 15 to 16 miles per gallon. It's got a 23, I think 24 gallon tank. I wish it had the 33 for greater mileage, but so be it. So yeah, obviously it's not the most fuel efficient monster, but it's my monster. And this is a bit of a risk, and I'll go into why. With my Camry, I could have paid that off, and maybe this is what I should have done. I should have paid the Camry off and then gone and bought a older used truck that's still good, maybe a low mileage one. If I could find one for around 50,000 miles, or it was a 2000, say, there was a 2010, but maybe 2012 or something like that. An older one, good mileage from a reputable dealer, one of the big dealers, and get an extended warranty on it or something. And I wouldn't have any car payments. I know the whole point behind me getting a new vehicle was to alleviate or to reduce my car payments, but instead I'm paying about the same amount. It's only about $10 less per month for the truck that I was the Camry, and I have to pay it for 7 years. It is a 7-year deal. So, my income is really based, number one, I'm a school bus driver. Number two, I do Ubering for extra cash. I don't have to Uber, but I do Ubering for extra cash. And on top of that, a large part of my income is taking care of my mother. My mother is turning 70 later this year, towards the end of the year. I don't know how much longer my mother's going to be around. Is my mother going to reach her 80s? No one on her side of the family has, that I know of, has reached their 80s. My mother has a lot of health problems. If my mother passes away, I'm going to lose a huge chunk of my income. And it is not unlikely that I lose the truck. So that's why I want to get a cheap, $3,000 or $4,000 secondhand vehicle. There's some nice low mileage ones out there that have like 50,000 miles or less. And, and I won't register it. I won't insure it. I'll just put it under a cover. I'll start it every so often. Maybe take it up and down the street here a little bit locally just to get it out and run it. And just have it in case something happens to the truck or I can't afford anymore. At least I still have another vehicle that I can use. It's a thought, and it's actually something my father tends to agree with, and I tend to still listen to my father, as he's a lot more stable thinking than I am. But I had to take the chance. I've wanted to own a nice truck all my life, and this thing is definitely nice. You get into it, it is whisper quiet. You got a big V8 engine under there, and you can barely hear it unless you put your foot down on it. And it just glides over the road so smoothly. It's like driving a big luxury SUV. It's really an impressive truck, and I really love it, and I'm really happy with it. I'm just hoping I can hold on to it and make it work for a while. That's really, really, really what I want. So I'm mostly happy with it. Like I said, I kind of regret not getting the limited. The limited was a beautiful, deep burgundy, or I like to call candy apple red. And it had all the bells and whistles on it and things that this truck doesn't have. And it's like $30 more a month, and I could have had that. I wouldn't have the extended warranty, though, but at least I'd have the truck. But, oh well. Whatever happens, happens. I'd roll the dice on it. Hopefully it'll work. I mean, if push came to shove, if push really came to shove, I could just pay the truck outright. I owe about $19,000 on it. If I get the full $30,000 that's left, I can just pay the truck off. That may become an option. I'll get the dryer, and I'll just sacrifice everything else and pay the truck off. And that will save me $500. Think about that. It'll save me $500 a month, plus all the interest and everything else. So if I did that, if I paid that truck off, that's something I never thought of. Just pay the full $19,000 if I get the full $30,000. I'll still have $10,000 left. I'll still be able to move my girlfriend here. I'll go see my father in Florida. I probably should invest. I know I should, but I never do the wisest thing. Besides, selling that truck and not having to pay $500 a month. Think of that, $500 a month. So I'd be saving myself $6,000 a year. It wouldn't matter what happened with my mom. I wouldn't lose the truck. That is something I might do. Or I could just pay another, say I get the full $30,000, I'll just pay $10,000 to the truck and severely lower how much I owe. And that means it'll just get paid off within a few years instead of, that's another option. I just may put a big $10,000 chunk to it if I get the full $30,000. Excuse me. Excuse me. So that's possible. So what else is going on? Well, there's a few things. First off, I'm moving my girlfriend here in February 14th. I have a flight scheduled, so in 32 days to fly to Minnesota. I'm thinking about renting a big SUV and driving her back. But depending on what happens, it is very possible I may just drive my truck up, because I'm really not Ubering anymore. I'll Uber on a rare occasion, because Ubering with a pickup truck, you can do it as long as you have a four-door. You can do it, but it's not very lucrative. Not with a monster V8 Hemi. But God, I almost want to go out driving in the truck. Sorry, I love my truck. I've always been a truck guy, if you can't tell. But it would be about a 3,000 mile round trip. But I really don't. I don't drive my truck that far. I don't drive my car that far unless I'm Ubering. I'm going to rarely be Ubering anymore. So I'm not sure yet what I want to do, because I wouldn't lose anything on the return, because I'd be paying for gas and hotels and everything on the way back in a big SUV, which will probably get about the same gas mileage as the truck. The only difference is I'd have to pay for gas and lodging going up. I'd have to probably refuel 3 times on the way up, but that's still less than the near $2,000 it cost me to rent the SUV. Paying for the gas and lodging up, paying for the gas and lodging on the way back is less than the $2,000. It's much less than the $2,000 to rent the SUV. So I am considering that. If I do that, I'd probably leave on the 13th and get there on the 14th. I am going to be flying my mother's friend from, I believe she's in Alabama, to stay with my mother for the week that I'm gone, because my mother cannot be alone for that extended period of time. 1, maybe 2 days is fine, but that long, no. God, there's just so much going on right now. My room's a mess. It's got to be cleaned. I've been working a lot, which I've been very grateful for. My boss, I've been doing all kinds of trips lately. I've gone, I took a robotics team up into Worcester. That was kind of a grueling day because it was 12 hours. And, well, I could have driven home had I known it had been 12 hours. But I didn't. I stayed up in Worcester for those 12 hours, and it got very boring. And so there was that. I've driven a hockey team for an entire weekend, back and forth to the same place. I've driven a basketball team out to Plymouth, which was a nice nostalgia trip. I drove another team out to what was known as the Bog in Kingston, is a ice skating rink. While I was out there, I took a nostalgia trip through my childhood, through the town of Kingston, where I used to live for a while. And then I even drove all the way out into Halifax, which is where I consider where I grew up. And I saw my old childhood house, which has changed dramatically. It's you can tell the same base old house is there, but there's been a lot added on to it. A lot of things have been changed. A lot of things have... it's definitely different. And the only reason I recognized it as the old house was because of the log cabin that's next to it, which was built just before my father had sold the house and moved out to Virginia. It was the only reason I recognized it. And, yeah, it was definitely a nostalgia trip. I almost drove a little bit further into the center of town, but I decided to go back home. Not home, back to the Bog and wait for the group. They still had some time to be done, but they were a JV hockey team, so they could have been done at any given point instead of the set time that they were supposed to be done. So, I'm not sure. I think one of the reasons I'm getting as many runs as I am is because my company's like really desperate for help. You know, they're not short of business, but they are short of drivers. And it's really sad. We're not like... We've got enough to cover everything, but sometimes like everybody goes out and does a run because people are sick or on vacation. So like even the mechanics, the HR guy, the guy that owns the company, my boss, Tim, his wife, you know, everybody in the office will have a school bus run, you know. One return trip that I did, my boss actually had to take that charter to Wheaton College to go do their thing, and I went out and brought them back for him. You know, so we're definitely short of drivers. So if anyone was in the Bristol County area that ever hears this anytime soon, Holmes Transportation needs drivers, and getting a CDL is a lifetime skill that can get you a job anywhere in this country, no matter where you go, as long as you keep your driving record clean. Just keep that in mind. Recruiting from a company. I doubt it'll ever do anything, but hey, why not? Sorry, my nose is... if you watch my channel, you know my nose enough. I do find out that I do have a bit of a small health problem. It's nothing like super severe, but it is something I'll have to deal with the rest of my life. Thanks to being tremendously overweight for most of my life, I've managed to damage the veins and vessels in my lower legs below the knee. My legs will always be discolored. They're always going to have a reddish-brown color. The skin's always going to be a lot more solid down there, almost like a soft wood. And I'm probably, no matter what weight I'm going to get down to, will probably always retain fluid. So twice a day, every day now, I have to wear these air boots. They're just big, like air sleeves, and they're multi-pressure chambers, and they're made, you know, they inflate up to a certain point, and then the foot will inflate, and then another chamber, and the foot will inflate for a little bit, then another chamber will inflate after that, and then it goes all the way up, then it all like will deflate back down some, and then start the process over. And this goes on for an hour. So 2 hours a day, I need to have these boots on and have them do that to help move the fluid out of my legs, so it doesn't get damaged anymore. And I will have to do this for the rest of my life, it seems. It's not a huge deal, but it is definitely something that kind of hits home at, you know, how my life's been and my struggle versus being overweight. So, yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. My aunt is currently in the hospital. She has, I believe it's pneumonia. And she also has severe emphysema / black lung from decades upon decades of chain smoking. And anyone who is anywhere familiar with problems like emphysema, my aunt is well into her 50s, almost 60 if she's not over 60. I believe she's over 60 now. Even being elderly, flu and pneumonia can be a fatal thing to get. In the condition my aunt's in, that fatality goes way up. She was actually in the ICU for a while. They took her out of the ICU. They moved her down. She does have a dog, and somebody was taking care of the dog. Well, that somebody abandoned the dog. My aunt found out. She had to check herself out of the hospital to go take care of her dog. My mother found out. My mother went ballistic. So now we have my aunt's dog for up to 2 weeks, depending on what happens with my aunt. And then, trying to think. And then, depending on what happens, if my aunt makes it, of course, the dog will just return. If my aunt doesn't make it, we've already got another home. Somebody already said she'll take them because she's not staying here. We have our dogs. They're the only dogs we're allowed to have right now. So we are not looking to add another dog to this lineup anytime soon. When it comes to my aunt, my feelings if she passes away is indifferent. I'm not going to be happy about it. I'm not somebody that's like that. But I am. I'm not. Very difficult for me to trust my aunt for anything. My aunt is not the person she used to be. I'm not the person I used to be. So I try and give her a bit more benefit of the doubt, but she did so much. I'm not going to go into everything, but she did so much in the course of her life in abusing, in using, and whatnot with my mother that there's so much stuff I should go into that I don't know if I should. I mean, there's one thing I want to go into, like where it all started. I attribute my aunt to some of the problems I had as a child, especially when it came to puberty and, I'll be honest with you, my overgrown sex drive. Now, my aunt didn't do anything to me, okay? She didn't do anything to me. She didn't do anything to anyone in the family. But my aunt was homeless. This is one of many times she'd been homeless. My mother took her in. My aunt took my room, and I took my sister's room, which are right next to each other with a door between them. You'd think if you're staying over at your sister's house and she has 2 kids, you wouldn't bring a stranger home to spend the night, as it were. But she did. Not every weekend, but a lot of weekends when she went out, she'd bring somebody home, and they'd go at it in my room, and my bed's not exactly quiet. So I'm a young boy, but I'm starting to get into that. I love how my thing looks lopsided, but that's because I've got no real white here, but a lot of white here. But I'm getting off track. So I was really just getting into my puberty. I was really just getting into that age. I was hitting puberty. My body was changing, and then this was going on. And well, there was a door there, and due to everything that was going on, I used to open the door and watch. And I found out later on that my aunt knew what was happening and did it anyways. So, back then I thought it was, I was getting to watch these people go at it as a young boy, and something about it I knew it was naughty and all that. Now growing up, looking at it, I realized just how fucked up it was. And that it may have been part of what attributed to me having issues growing up with that nature, that particular part of my life. So, yeah. You know, that's just one example of the many things my aunt did. You know, my aunt really abused my mother's kindness, and still kind of does to this day. Although she's not quite the person she used to be. I don't think she does any hard drugs anymore. I don't really think she drinks anymore by the looks at it. But, you know, my trust and my caring for my aunt died decades ago. Decades. So whereas I won't be happy if she passes away, I will definitely be indifferent about it. I won't care either way. So beyond that, I really don't want to say any more on it. It's not that I'm uncomfortable talking about it. I don't care. I would sit here and unload everything about my aunt to you guys, but this is YouTube, and anyone can come across these videos. I know the YouTube's doing this whole kids thing now, and what a shit show that is. But I don't want to accidentally have, you know, even if I mark my thing not for children, it doesn't matter. Children could still come across this. I do know I even have some younger fans, and that's why I hesitate about talking about things like this. I don't want to. You know, I don't want to do that. So I have considered getting back into Euro Truck again and American Truck Simulator. Especially I get my settlement, go and buy up everything, and then just keep the mods to a minimum. Don't do pro mods anymore. Just keep it base game. Just do trailer mods. You know, because I love the variety in trailers. So just do trailer mods. Just go do like some Jazzy Cat trailer mods. Don't do traffic mods. Don't do anything else. Just do trailer mods, and leave it at that, and be happy about it. I think that would be cool. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to deal with YouTube. My stuff doesn't get monetized anyways anymore, even if I were to try. But I don't know if I want it to. I don't know if I want to deal with that anymore. I can't take it. You know, I don't want to fight that shit. But yeah, other than that, you know, things are going fairly well. I'm happy for the most part. Be much better to bring my girlfriend down here for sure. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I know I probably missed a lot of stuff, but I can't think about it. If I have, you know, like I said, the big things are my truck. I got my new mattress, my washing machine. My mom's doing okay. I'm doing okay. Looking forward to bringing my girlfriend down here and waiting to see how much I get left out of my settlement. That's about it. But other than that, folks, you know, and I know I probably divulged a little bit more information than I wanted to, particularly about my aunt, but I had to give you some idea of what my aunt was like and why I don't care about her. You know, her kids, the three that she raised are all hardened criminals. They're all drug users. They're all drug dealers. They've all been to prison for extended terms. And chances are they get out, they're going to go right back in at some point. What do you say about a woman who got her children taken away for alcoholism, said when she got her life back on track, she could have her kids back, with one of the things being she had to get sober and not be able to drink anymore, so what's the first job she goes out and get? That's being a waitress at a bar, where she gets to drink for free. There you go. I keep coming back to that, and I shouldn't. I mean, like I said, I got no problems unloading it on you guys, although you guys probably don't want to hear it. That's another reason I don't want to talk about it. But, you know, if anyone younger comes across this, I don't want them to hear all this. So I'm going to leave it here, folks. I'm sorry that the end of it kind of took a dip, and I've been talking really fast. A lot's been going on lately. Everything's been going on has been going on, like, really quick. Oh, there's one more thing. I am going to see the touring Broadway musical Cats On Tuesday, I've got one of the best seats you possibly can get if you're not like a club member. I don't know if you're familiar with your average layout for opera houses. I'm going to be going to the Boston Opera House. I know it's called the Citizens Bank Opera House. No, it's the Boston Opera House. One of the oldest opera houses in the world, if not the oldest. Not the world, in the United States. And yeah, one of the oldest in the world, I would believe. But you have the floor. You know, you have the standard floor. You get the orchestra here. You get the standard floor. Then you have the raised up area that has the, I forget what they call it, the mezzanine. And then you have the balconies. Well, across the front of the mezzanine, or whatever it's called, is known as the dress circle. And it's this small little area that has about maybe 3 or 4 rows or somewhat of seats. And it sits a little bit down from the mezzanine, but it's way up. You get this beautiful, sweeping, commanding view of the stage and everything. There's very little in front of you. You're looking at a nice angle down. You're not looking up. You know, you're not way back. You're right there. Well, I've got what's known as the dress circle, first row left. In other words, there's the dress circle center. I'm the first to the left of that, and I'm almost to the corner. So I'm almost in the center, and I'm front row. So there's only a railing in front of me. There's no people. You know, so I've got one of the best seats in the house to one of the oldest touring, if not the oldest touring Broadway musical in existence. Never going to go see that horrible movie. I mean, it's really just the CG and the costumes. That's bad. But I think the rest of the movie's probably fine. But I'm going to see the production, the real deal. And yes, I am paying through the nose for this seat, but I want to do it like when I took my girlfriend to see Lion King last year. Again, got on the dress circle, got a little bit further to the left and 2 rows back, but it was still an amazing view of everything. And this will put us like, boom, right there. It'll put me right there, because my girlfriend's not here. But yes, this is what I'm looking forward to. Something else I may do, if I get the full 30, is SummerSlam is coming to Boston this year in August. So I keep watch for packages for the whole weekend. So I get to see SummerSlam, I get to go to all the events, and I can go to NXT, SmackDown, and Raw all weekend. You know, it's a full weekend deal. So I'll go to NXT TakeOver or whatever's here. I'll go to SmackDown, and I'll go to SmackDown and Raw following, and to SummerSlam itself. SummerSlam's one of the big 4 events, and I'll pay these packages like $1,000+ because you get like really good seats and all that. I'll do that for me and my girlfriend if I get the full 30,000. I'd do that without question. I may never go to WrestleMania, but to go to one of the big 4, like the Royal Rumble. It's the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania is the big granddaddy, and then Survivor Series. Those are the big 4. WrestleMania is the big granddaddy. WrestleMania actually even coming up, and SummerSlam is considered the second big show. So yeah, WrestleMania, SummerSlam. I would say Royal Rumble is more important than Survivor Series, but Survivor Series comes first. Or actually, you could look at it as comes last. Royal Rumble comes first, because it's the first big pay-per-view. Royal Rumble, which is actually coming up very soon, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series. But if you look at it in the way that the events of importance, you have WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series, and then Royal Rumble. I think Royal Rumble is more important and better than Survivor Series, but that's neither here nor there anymore. I like how I always go to end things and then keep talking for the next 20 minutes. But maybe I'll take my phone out, record a video, and upload it to YouTube about my truck and show you everything in my truck. It's really cool. I've got like the adjustable tie downs. I've got LED bed lights. Remote start, heated seats, steering. Oh my god, a heated steering wheel. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. I have a leather wrap heated steering wheel. Heated and ventilated front seats. Both front seats are power seats. Plenty tons of storage. It's got Android and Google or Android and Apple Play. It's got a lot. I'm really happy with it. I wish I had the adaptive cruise control, the early brake warning, and the early collision, and the big 12-inch info screen rather than the 8.5-inch that I have. But what are you going to do? You know, I got the truck. I got a truck, and it's a really good truck, and it's my truck, and it looks really fucking awesome. Where the Limited looked a little bit more classy, this one definitely looks a little bit more aggressive, which I like. I think the Limited, I'd be a little more hesitant to do work in it than this, which is why I say a secondhand plow truck. Because if I buy a plow truck and the truck breaks down and becomes too much to pay for, well, I can just have the truck towed to a dealership or whatever, have them take everything off and then mount it to the Laramie and use the plow on the Laramie, you know? It is a theory. Anyways, I don't know what I'm going to do for sure, but I have my truck. For the first time in my life, I've owned a couple pickup trucks. I owned a Ford Ranger and a Mazda B2000. Well, but those are small trucks. I've always wanted a full-size pickup, and the one chance I had a full-size pickup got ruined on me. Well, and I settled on that truck. I settled on getting a truck when I drove. I drove a lot of different vehicles, and they all felt good, but none of them felt like really right. Getting behind the wheel of a pickup truck, that felt right. That felt right. So, anyways, folks, excuse me. I don't know why I'm tired, but I need to go. I've got some work to do. I've got today to catch up on the house before I start working again tomorrow. I don't know what kind of trips my boss may have for me this week, if at all. If the last 2 trips I've taken are any indication of what's happening, maybe things are winding down. I don't have a trip today, where the last 3 weeks I've had a trip every day, all weekend, plus some during the weekday. My last 2 trips were really short, where the other ones were at least 5 or 6 hours. The cheerleader squad, I think, was 5 hours, but the other trip I did was only 2 hours because it was only a return. So, yeah, things may be winding down. Maybe people are coming back from vacation, so the trips are going back. I don't know what's going on for sure, but just in case, I want to try and get this house, particularly my room, back in order. So, all right. Anyways, that's going to be all for me, folks. This video I'm going to upload right away. So there's none of that bullshit. I do apologize for not doing more. Again, I really want to get back into, maybe when my girlfriend gets here, I'll start being able to get back into maybe doing a few recordings, various things. Sumo has started this year, and I've always wanted to do a sumo breakdown, introduce people to sumo and to particular figures in sumo, some up-and-comers, as well as some mainstays who are on their way out, and things like that. Be that as it may, whatever I do, if I do anything, I can't make any promises. I can't say when. I don't know anymore. But I'm here. I'm doing well, and I wish I could give you all more, because I feel like all of you that are sub to me that still watch the occasional vlog I pull up, man, I feel like I owe you guys so much more. So, yeah. Alright, folks, but that's going to be me done for this. My name's One Big Bugger. I'll see you next time.